Welcome to Riverbend Talon on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Also, is this a mic? Yeah. Also brought to you by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis and Macias Insurance. It's been so long since I've been here, like 2 weeks. I forgot which button, because they're all faded. It doesn't say anything anymore, and there's no lights on them.
They're just random buttons, man. You got to remember what they are.
Because we broadcast from state-of-the-art studios.
Hey, man, here right out of downtown A-Town on 107.1 FM.
Where the sea shanty sing-along begins at 6 o'clock every. That's what people know about this town. The sea shanty on Thursday night. Morrison's Irish Pub.
It's getting right in there with Sundays at 10 Pen, right? I mean, not quite.
Yeah, well, that slowed down during that one thing.
Yeah, well.
And the Mondin band broke up, sorta. Yeah, they pretty much did.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Tis a bummer because that is an Alton tradition there.
You have to say was.
Was. The Intrusion's down at the night market tonight.
Eat a Peach was a thing, too.
Eat a Peach was a big one. Yeah. That went on for a long time, too. The Intrusion coming hot off their show opening up for a Steely Dan cover band. Steely Dan.
Because one of their members was in it.
I did not know that part. See, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's what happens when you follow people. And like and subscribe.
I can't keep track of these kids. They all switch bands.
I tried to teach you, man. You just gotta get on and hit like, follow.
But then they're constantly
don't
switching.
Follow. No. All of a sudden your feed turns into nothing but the stuff you like. That is the great part. I no longer see crap. It's awesome.
Yeah.
When people say, I don't get on there anymore because all I see is all this. And I'm like, well, I don't see that anymore. I took the time to actually follow the people I want to and block people I don't.
See, my thing isn't that I get on there and see crap. Who's got time to log on to Facebook?
Well, you do, actually. I seriously spend, I don't know, maybe an hour a day updating this because I have to.
Right.
But like today, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes looking at our guest. I mean, it doesn't take long to go to a website and just look through it. It just takes the motivation to click.
20 minutes.
That's hard when you got your hand on something else.
It is.
And you're looking at underage girls, possibly.
I don't know about that.
Well, how do you know how old they are? They look awful young to me when I've seen.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
I'm talking about what you told me off air you were doing earlier.
I was working.
The XXX stuff.
Oh, well,
how many times do you...
That's part of the job.
We could go back and look at our show and see that's brought up about every other show. How much time you spend watching porn. And I'm like, there's a reason porn is free, guys. You know why it's free, right?
Yeah. No, well, tell me.
Well, you don't know why. Huh?
I don't have a whole lot of idea about it. I don't think about that.
Plain and simple. When they knock down your door and tell you you've been looking at underage girls, you'd be like, "No, I haven't." It said they were 18. Well, sorry, you're going to jail.
Oh wow.
Or. Yeah. It's much easier to just like a cell phone, trace you. Yeah. That's probably the main reason.
They're going to trace. They're definitely going to trace me when they find me laying down one day. There's going to be a chalk outline of how they find me.
No, that'll be you hiding under something because you're getting raided. You've got raided before. You know it's best just to be quiet and hide.
Los Angeles Raiders all the way, man. I'm a Raiders fan.
It always worked for me. Just hide under the bed. It's a safe spot.
You know where I'm going to go? Canada. That's where Mace of Thrace is from.
I just think it's awful odd. The number one search thing on the internet is porn, and it's free. And so somebody should be making money off of that. That's what I'm saying.
I believe that they are. I believe that they are.
So how?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at.
I guess I'd have to launch a site and figure that out. I don't know how, but I'm sure that somehow some money's being made out there.
That's the part that makes me go, Yeah,
and
I think I might be correct about blackmailing and, creating a profile for you that you don't know exists. Probably through hacking and everything else,
Yeah. And that happened to me the other day. Apparently, I got hacked on Facebook. Also, it's the first time everybody starts sending me messages going, "Hey, dude, is
now
this
you know why. Now you know why porn is free." I'm just saying, ask yourself that question. I mean, what more could make more money than...
But again, you're acting like that there's no money being made there when you say that. But you hear all these people...
I don't know how the money's being made.
Well, how is any money made off the internet? Oh, I get so many clicks, I get money. I get to sell advertisement. I get to,
I mean, paywalls are on some stuff, so they're making money that way, right? YouTube sells ads.
So
there's no ads in porn, though. Right? I don't know. I don't watch it.
I was going to say, you tell me.
You're the one.
I didn't bring it up. You did.
No. I watch the conspiracy guys that bring up, do you know why porn is free? And it makes me go, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Jeez almighty.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, I hadn't either till you.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the point. It's like you won't think about it. You're just thinking about, she looks good.
What I'm trying to think about is what's happening around town this evening.
Well, we got porn.
That's always around. But what else is happening around town? We got...
go ahead.
The Intrusion down at the night market.
Oh, you did that.
Starting at 7 p.m., so they're going to be getting underway here in another less than an hour. We got Macias of Thrace.
Don't you love live radio?
I do.
You always brought this. That's why I bring up something uncomfortable.
Crazy.
Just like to watch you go, I don't know if I like live radio after all.
I do like live radio. I'm just trying to... It's weird to be the one who's trying to keep it on track. That's all. I feel like suddenly we're John...
I get bored with being that guy.
Yeah. I feel like... John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd and Neighbors. We have just switched.
I figured we're on the internet, so I'm keeping it on point.
Wait, we're on the internet?
Yeah.
That makes me nervous right there.
We have this thing called subscribers.
Does this make it boring?
We're rising the charts on YouTube.
We're number one with a bullet.
No, we're not number one. But I'm just saying for local shows, it's pretty good.
That kind of frightens me about who's out there watching. There's you weirdos.
So they all hate me now because I brought up why porn was free.
He's ruining my porn.
Dang it! He's telling the truth.
I can't even enjoy porn tonight. I don't know.
We'll be banned. That word is not banned. You can say porn as much as you want on any site, but don't say.
I don't know. Can we say Canada? Let's get back to the facts of the matter here.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada. Because that's where the band Macias of Thrace is from. And they are playing at the Conservatory. It's $12 to get in, and they have another band called The Vast Revere.
I know people who've been in Facebook jail for saying worse, but yet I get a lot of friend requests from people wanting me to view their site where they're naked.
Yeah, and
they're not banned.
Well, I don't know. Blame Facebook.
No. I think they're promoting some interesting people and shutting up some very interesting people. And
it's their site. They can.
That's true.
They can do what they want.
They can put as much porn on Facebook as
exactly.
they want.
They can do whatever they want. It's their site. I'm going to start my own site now. I could do what I want. What I want to do is tell you that the
Sean Trost.
Sean Trost is down at Fast Eddie's until 11 p.m. this evening.
We have their attention, though.
I don't know.
Well, porn gets people's attention, so I had to bring it up. See if
you say it 3 times, it'll appear.
Let's hope not. Open mic night at Ragin' Cajun, later at 8. Gary Massinelli doing music in the park in Bethalto. HOOKiE at Grafton Music in the Park. All the musics in the parks are flying around these days. Started June, right?
Yeah.
Peter Forslund, the Double Standard at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. And J.T. Hayden Band, who only appears once a year down at Deutz Village Inn, is playing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday down at Deutz.
And is that a fact that he only appears once a year? Is that just...
Well, if you believe Deutsch Village Inn, they're
Okay.
the one who posted it. I merely repeat what I read.
I believe in Deutsch Village
Just like
Inn.
Ron Burgundy. Right?
Oh, man.
And Colt Ball
Hey!
is in the house.
Mr. Colt Ball walking in as we are winding down our Thursday here. Let's what else we got Thursday? We got Mo Pleasure at Patrick's in Granite City till 9 p.m. this evening. Scott Marlin at Pavia's Place, also in Granite City until 10:30. Ryan Holting, 6 to 10 p.m. tonight at the Cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carvin. Merv V, Uncle Joe, A&C Incorporated. Those three will all be at the Old Herald Brewing in Collinsville. That's going until 9:30. And then at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey, Illinois, we got Whiskey River going 6 to 9. Also Experience Live Music Row happening down in Belleville. Whole bunch of bands playing a whole bunch of bars.
Oh, wait till you look at Saturday for Experience Live Music Row.
Oh, geez.
It's insane.
I haven't read
There's
ahead.
like 5 bands per venue.
Wow.
Or more.
Wow.
I shouldn't say bands. Here you go. There it is.
Ah,
Look at
That's,
Look at that.
That's a chunk. That is a chunk.
Yeah.
So. All right. Mr. Colt Ball, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Just to verify, Colt, he didn't believe me that you were late last time. I think it's a style.
Maybe so.
He's fashionably late. It's Colt.
It's hard to
can't
catch a
blame Marshall
train,
for this
isn't it?
one.
It's hard to catch a train, ain't
It's
it?
hard.
Sometimes.
It's hard.
We talked about that last time. You mentioned wait till they go around the corner before you hop on one.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was great advice.
If you don't time it out right, then
Yeah.
you show up late.
All right. So did you hop a train on your way from? Where'd you come from tonight?
St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're at least close.
Yeah, semi-close, yeah.
There you go.
Not too bad of a drive. It's that construction, though. I should have known better. You got to time it out an extra hour for your travels for that kind of stuff in the city.
Because as we found out last time, you're a rambling man.
I am a rambling man. It's been nice the past few days to be at the homestead and just get some time to relax, hang out with the dogs.
Looks like you're hanging around St. Louis area most of June.
Yeah. Really fortunate for that, too. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong. I sure do love the travels and stuff, but it is nice to not be on the road for the majority of my days.
How far away is Williamsville, Missouri? That's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so that'll be my first time there. It's a little over an hour from where I stay at.
That's
so
not bad.
That's not too bad at all.
Yeah, that's a turn and burn easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was talking to a non-music fan earlier at a gathering my mom had for the class of 1955.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
There's 15 people left in that class of Civic Memorial High School. Anyways, another son was, being a chauffeur. And we were talking. He's not a music fan. And I was explaining to him what we've learned about St. Louis, more specifically East St. Louis, and the creation of rock and roll possibly coming right from here, and talking about the old blues guys we talked to that traveled from New Orleans to Chicago and always stop in St. Louis because they could get a bath and a meal and maybe some money even.
Right. Definitely going to get a basket of chicken and a shower and a nice hot bath.
Yeah. And we learned from Bonnie Bramlett that, the east side was where it was hopping with Ike and Tina.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we know Johnny Johnson was over there. And we know Johnny Johnson's a king of rock and roll. Right? Chuck Berry just took it from him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Johnny wrote it and Chuck took it from piano on to guitar, and then they called it rock and roll.
And everybody knows where all those guys like Elvis got their rock and roll songs. They got it from the blues guys, didn't
Absolutely.
they?
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
This is the home of rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And blues, maybe. I mean, we could claim it.
And Wood River's the home of the ham sandwich. At least there's a sign down in Wood River, Illinois that says that.
Miles Davis.
Miles, man, right here. Yeah, it's amazing that St. Louis doesn't get more credit for what has happened, the music that has spawned out of Alton, out of East St. Louis,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure Robert Wadlow played a saxophone.
Yeah.
That's fake news.
he could have played the biggest horse. He could have played a sousaphone, man. He could have played one of them big ones, man. Would have been funny to watch him play a tiny little horn.
Yeah. He was really good at the kazoo.
What's the tallest instrument you can play? I don't know. Trivia 101.
I don't know.
Maybe the Hideous Gentlemen. No, they're playing at the Conservatory tomorrow night. It's their Friday.
Yeah, Hideous Gentlemen. Love those guys.
Colt Ball is here to tell us about a festival coming up right here in our town in one day.
Yeah.
I think you actually posted that it's a one-day. What'd you write? Something like it's a one-day festival where you don't have to camp and you can sleep in your own bed or something like that.
Yeah, it's close enough to home. Unless you're traveling, from out of state, it's close enough to home that you can just head back and enjoy the comforts of your own humble abode.
And that's not this Saturday, but the following Saturday at the Lodge at Lovejoy.
Yeah, that's on the 24th. I'm not too familiar with the venue location.
It's right around the corner.
Right there. If we went jump that way,
cool.
we'd be there.
I heard that it's a kind of a newer installment as far as the lodge goes. Some folks were saying that Lovejoy has been around for a minute, but they kind of revamped.
Yeah,
lots of revamping.
It was Elijah P's, and it was a restaurant, and they had a bar and bands inside, and then they built an outside stage, and then they built the lodge behind it.
Okay,
and
that wasn't already there, and they just
they might have revamped that.
I think
they might have just revamped the old spot, but they opened it up as the lodge, and then Elijah P's unfortunately is no longer open as a restaurant, but the lodge is still kicking back there. So it's a really neat place, man. It is literally about a block that way, and it's a neat little joint, man.
Cool. I've caught a couple videos online of just some acoustic acts playing inside. It looks like a real cool vibe, like a log cabin kind of cozy corner.
That's mainly winter they do that, and then in the summer they got an outdoor stage. So, and that's pretty cool because they can pack way more people in there.
Yeah.
And that's why this will probably be that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're hoping to pack it out. There's tons of really good bands on the list, all local talent, and a lot
including
of original bands.
Pickin Buds.
I love that name.
Fleetwood and Family. Hunter Peebles. This guy Colt Ball and friends.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You guys are electric since the last time. Oh, you were just getting underway playing with the full band last time.
Yeah. So things have been really kicking off. We had a lot of headway on the full band from far and wide. I think the seeds that I've been planting as a solo, traveling around, is starting to catch wind with the band and gaining some traction. We've been having a lot of fun with it for sure.
Did you know that's how Pigpen got his name? People were catching wind of him as he walked through the street.
Yeah, I can resonate with that.
Why do they call me Pigpen when I smell like a skunk?
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Yeah. Also at that festival, Hamilton Band, Holly Shultz, Emma Nobbe Band. How do you say that one? Hoojshwah?
Hoojshwah, yep.
Hoojshwah.
Very interesting group of fellas.
And is that Loge? Loge?
Loge?
Maybe that's it.
I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with them.
Brad Huffman, Rich, Jess, and Tait. Now, is that Tait from Pickin Buds?
Yeah, so Tait is the one that's actually organizing this whole event.
He bailed on us? We thought he might be.
Yeah, I was trying to get him in, but he also runs sound for a lot of different events and stuff.
And plays in about 10 different bands.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He's a man of many talents, and he's really good running sound. He's a really good host, and he's fun to work with for sure.
Justin Rose and Jarrod Lutz, a couple guys that he does shows with.
Yeah.
And we see their names quite a bit.
Yeah, we recently just got to do a little show with Justin and Tait. Luke, myself, and then Alex Maurer, the drummer.
Right.
He's been playing with Pickin Buds lately when they do their electric stuff.
Yeah.
And then he plays with us in the band too. So it was really cool, kind of merging those two sounds because they do a lot of like bluegrassy kind of space jam.
Yeah, checked it out.
Good
today.
mix.
It's good stuff. And I should have said Pickin Buds Electric.
Yeah.
Because there's versions of that too.
There are versions of that as well. Yeah.
And noon to 12 a.m. at the Lodge at Lovejoy.
Yeah, that's going to be an all-day event. That's why there's tons of people that I've heard lately that surprisingly there's a lot of people that I interact with that don't go to festivals and stuff, but they've been wanting to. So this is one of those great segues to kind of get the feel for the festival vibe, but it's just one day long. You're getting to see a bunch of really cool up-and-coming acts, and and then you get to go.
You don't have to go through the work of packing for a festival.
Yeah, that's. I don't like moving all my stuff out in the woods. I've never been a big fan of that ever.
I like it. The problem is leaving. After that, it's just like, can I stay here for a couple months?
Yeah.
Right. Can we just stay here till it's done? I mean, till I'm done with it.
Right.
It's easy for me. I'm thinking king size bed and AC sounds all right.
Yeah.
Besides, I'm paying those bills back home. I better go take advantage of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't blame you there.
But a guy that hops trains, I mean, you're hoboing it anyway. So
I'll take what I can get, man. Sometimes the floor is a come up.
Right.
Heck yeah, man.
Depending on if it's shag carpet or not.
Which is exactly why people need to get out and support local music, because these guys are hungry.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, they're not homeless per se.
He's looking a little outdoorsy over there. I don't know. Colt's looking a little outdoorsy.
I just came back from the festival, too.
Well, what I mean by that is they'll give you something for the money you donate.
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to, hey, thanks, man, I'm going to give me a bottle.
Right, right.
Hey,
that's a good way to do it, too, I guess, if you want to do it. We hung out with a lot of homeless people.
Yeah.
So,
they got good stories.
Yeah.
So here we are just talking, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh, okay, here we go. So like,
he's thinking.
So like, when I go over to KDHX, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and there's always, somebody standing at the edge of the bridge with a little sign, can I have some food? Can I have some money? Whatever it says. And I'm saying we just put a band over there. We don't even ask for money. We just play to everybody crossing the bridge.
There we go. Welcome you in.
Why not?
Crossing state lines.
I'm just trying to think of ways to get a crowd.
I think
a captive audience.
Right, yeah.
Right there after you cross the bridge where all the guys hold up signs asking for money, you could be playing and have a bucket sitting there, and at least somebody gets a song while they're at the stoplight.
That's what I'm saying. That's a good idea.
We tried to do that with Scott and Michelle in Granite City because they got all the trains, and you get caught by trains quite a bit.
Right.
So, we thought we talked to the mayor. Mayor Parkinson he was one of our guests, and we thought, you ought to put parks right next to the trains.
People can
and
get
when
out.
you get held up, you can just check out the band for a little while until the train goes by.
Right.
So we just recently were part of this really cool music festival that I had no idea what it was about. It was a day festival up in Peoria, Illinois. There's this bridge.
Home of Richard Pryor.
It's a right.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's this
he was
bridge that's
one
under
crazy.
Train jumper.
Yeah. They got this bridge that's real popular for people like hiking and biking and stuff like that to and from work. And they're doing construction right now. And we had this festival on this bridge. And then come to find out when we get there, it was just like a busking renegade guerrilla festival. We just there was a full system. We played in the bike lane. And at any moment, I'm like, this is going to get shut down.
Sure.
It went from 10 a.m. until midnight.
And nobody said a word.
Tons of people came and donated, their time, and a lot of people really enjoyed it on their travels and stuff. You could tell everyone was confused. Or you could tell the people that was like it was their normal commute. They biked to work, and they're stopping like, wait,
what's going on?
What's going on
So where did the power come from?
They ran a generator.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Those are way better than they used to be.
Yeah. And even, the construction worked to the advantage on that because they put it behind the concrete walls and tarped it off and really diluted the sound and stuff, too, of the generator running.
Right.
Yeah,
I like it, man. Nice guerrilla style.
Right.
We were talking a couple years ago. I was talking with some guys about it. There was an old U-Haul truck for sale, one of the big ones, and I said, you just get it and you turn one of the sidewalls into a garage door, and you have the band already set up, everything nailed into place. You can just pull up anywhere at any park and just start jamming them. As soon as the cops come, you just shut the door and roll out.
Well, that's the scene we come from as kids playing music and stuff. You said earlier you're wondering if it was going to get shut down. When we played, we knew it was going to get shut down at some point.
You're just hoping you get to play before it gets shut down.
Right. And we fight over who got to play first.
Right. Nobody wants to play last because they ain't making it to last. Man.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And that's 100% truth, too. I mean, we're not kidding. And the generators back then, you get about halfway through your set and it just die.
Yeah. We had a couple those spurts for sure, where the vocals are cut out and then they come back on.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, such a better time. I mean, we always talk about the old days. There's some things aren't so good about the old days. Bro.
Right. We had the vocals peter out on us, not because of a generator. It was a weekend before last at the Trinity River Fest. One of the monitors just overheated. It was 95 degrees outside, and it was unfortunately the lead singer's. It had to be that one. It couldn't be.
Yeah.
And it just shut down for a minute until it could. And internally it said shut down and cool down, and I'm like,
you know how many times I've heard people say, I really like that band, but not really the singer. So, depending on who the singer is,
I worked out. Man, they were a lot better than I remember.
Am I right? Have you ever heard that?
If that would have been my band, people would have been like, they just got really good for a minute.
yeah. There was a few moments there.
Nice improv there. Nice long improv. That was awesome. They should do that more.
Right. Oh, good times. Good times.
Also going on this weekend, pianos down at Ragin Cajun, Exit 52 Duo, and Whiskey Dixon. That one's always hard for me to say.
Whiskey Dixon.
Mm-hmm, thank you. And that's at Fast Eddie's in Alton on Friday night. Out at Baker's and Hale, HOOKiE Monster.
Nice.
Southside Bloozy Boyz down at the Moose and Wood River, Sweet Bottom at Big Daddy's, and Edwardsville, 10-String Dream at the Stagger Inn at the 5 to 8 happy hour slot. Up all night. That happens at the Chop House from 7 to 10.
Yep.
So
it's all Saturday night. All Saturday night.
Just because they're quitting at 10 don't mean that band's going home.
No.
So they live up to their name.
Yeah, up all night, baby. Also in Edwardsville on Saturday, we got the Zydeco Crawdaddies at the City Park in Edwardsville, 8 to 10 p.m.
They've been around for a while, it seems like to me. I remember seeing that name quite a bit, but we don't see them playing quite a bit.
You see them around Mardi Gras. They usually have a couple gigs.
That's right.
So the Zydeco Crawdaddies, there you go. They are at the City Park again on Saturday, 8 to 10. Soulshine Groove is at the Moose in Edwardsville on Saturday till 11 p.m.
They're fresh off their gig at Fosterburg Music in the Park, which is Monday nights. We don't mention much from Monday through Wednesday. But yeah, there's a lot of music in the parks happening around town on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think Tuesday night's Robert Wadlow.
Yeah,
they do something there. So,
and Monday, as you say, that's Fosterburg.
Yeah,
every city around here has a music in the park, and there's one every day of the week all summer long, if not 2 or 3.
I've seen a new one. I think it's on the list. Calhoun Hardin does one.
Excellent.
I didn't know that.
Excellent.
Scruffy looking nerf herder. You know you like him.
I love that name, man.
I think his real name's Bill Pisa, is how you say it.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder is way better.
Yeah, because, Pisa's spelled Puhse, so he probably gets called different names. And I only know that because our old drummer's name was the same, so...
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Rewind at the Elks in Granite City. I mentioned scruffy-looking nerf herder was at a place called Manhattan Social House in Granite City.
Okay,
that
doesn't
sound
a
coffee
like,
shop.
It does not sound like the place a scruffy-looking nerf herder should be.
No,
it's a social house.
It's much like Germania from what it looks like. They got coffee and beer. I like that option. Because we'd always play for free beer, and I'd be thinking, man, I'm half asleep from working all day. I'd really like a coffee.
Yeah.
No one had a coffee pot. They're selling liquor. Like, what?
Earlier we brought up Richard Pryor, and he said he always liked playing coffee shops because they didn't sell booze, just coffee and pills.
Yeah.
Who's my nerf herder?
You think a venue would work that sold nothing but coffee and like monster drinks?
I'm awake. I am awake. Yeah. I'm jittery and I'm awake.
I mean, they're popular.
Right.
Anyways, Rewind. That's a mayor's band, too. From Pontoon Beach.
Is that Mayor Mike Pagano?
That's right. That's what they're doing now.
Yeah, nice. Last I heard, he was doing like a Sammy Hagar
He
tribute.
is. He does a Montrose
tribute. Nice.
And that's to open up for the big names when they have like a party at the beach, which is coming up soon.
Excellent. We'll have to get him in
Pontoon
here.
Beach. Speaking of Pontoon Beach, there's JT Hayden Band playing. He only plays once a year.
but 3 times.
But yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He makes it a weekend of it.
Nice.
There you go.
How about Double J and the Soul Band?
Yeah, where they at?
I'm always down for at least 2 J's before a Soul Band.
I smoke 2 J's in the morning. I smoke 2 J's at night.
But right before 6:30, at least 2.
But for sure 2. 2 at 6:30 and 2 more.
That's at the new venue down at Old Herald in Collinsville.
Ah, there you go.
And tickets range from free to $75
That
because
is-
they got that weird table pricing. And
there's a lot of options for if you want chicken or if you want fish. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember how
It's something like that, yeah, pretty much.
So,
check out their website to figure all that out because it's complicated.
But if you just want to go see them for free, there are some free seats, and if you want to pay $75, you get the good seats in the chicken.
But here's the thing: if you get the table and you're late, they might sell your table to someone else. It says
on there if you're like 15 minutes past start time, your table's up for grabs for somebody.
Your fish is
Justin liked that idea. How do you like that idea, concert promoter?
I think it's a lot to keep track of.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think it's
hire extra staff just for that. What's your name?
right. There's a whole lot of stuff to think about, man.
You're late. I'm sorry.
Right. Now, did you have the fish or the chicken? Okay.
That happened on Airplane, didn't it? Hey, Jake Weber's doing an open mic at the Hog Pit now.
Nice.
On Friday nights.
Oh, another.
That used to be the Outlaw Opry guy, Steve Mellis, right?
Yeah. Now Jake Weber from the what's this one called? Not Outlaw Opry.
The Lonesome Drifters.
The Lonesome Drifters doing
right,
it. So there you go.
Soulard Blues Band. That's what Mondin's doing now.
Mundine.
Right at the loading dock. Great place to check out some entertainment there, right on the water.
Yeah, and Mondine, you can't go wrong, man.
No.
Smoking guitar player.
So there you go. And everything else is kind of far. So we'll just kind of skip through it. But there you go.
There you go.
Pat Jones, 6 p.m. at Calhoun County Music in the Park.
Yeah.
And,
all right.
And Pigpen will verify, and I will too. There are some wild times in Hardin. There's some wild times.
Going down to Campsville for the Trinity River Fest a couple weeks ago. It had me
back memories.
To get gas for the generators. I had to go into Hardin, and that's where I chose to go because it just had the memories flooding back from that town and the craziness that happened back in the late 80s, early 90s. That place, man. Yeah.
So,
I was feeling very nostalgic.
Last time we talked to Colt Ball, he was about to drop a single for the song Lola.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's happened.
That's happened. Now we're all the way through that EP release process, so all the singles from that EP are currently out now.
Nice.
Everywhere you stream music, yep. Lola seems to be a fan favorite. The latest one that we just dropped is a track called Dancing on Your Own. It's the one that I'm most proud of, for sure. A lot of really cool aspects to it and some late night stuff with Cass. That was, one of the ones that we worked with Cass.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny, too, because we were running out of time, when you're in the studio, of course, like you try to pre-plan everything out and you think, okay, by this day we're going to switch to vocals and then we'll be doing background, you know what I mean? And it never works that way. You end up pushing time back and you extend it forward and you're scrambling and you come up with new ideas, and we had all these ideas, Dancing on Your Own had this kind of wailer sound to it, so we're like, we need some background singers. And so the thought was, that we were going to do some poking around. He was going to get a hold of some friends, and we are going to bring a group of gals in that was going to do the backgrounds. But we ran out of time. Money was kind of tight, and he was like, if you just trust me, I can sound like a girl. So so it's 2 a.m.
I bet you're not the first guy he told that.
Yeah.
He tells everyone that. Dang it, I thought I was special.
So you're out there all at 2 a.m., 3 a.m.?
Yeah, and he's...
And that's down in Texas, right?
Yep.
And you're talking about Cass Haley.
Cass Haley, yeah.
Right, yeah, just for people to catch up. Paris, Texas, right?
Paris, Texas, yeah.
I love the name of his studio, Big Hope.
Big Hope,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
That gives you a good feeling right away.
Exactly, yeah. It's a really family-driven vibe. All of his family members are helping working on the process and stuff, and couldn't be more blessed to have worked with that team, you know.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And
you told the story about getting a phone call from him and not knowing exactly whether to answer it because you were chomping on a burger at the time.
Chomping it down, yeah. It's surreal, you know, when we first started getting in contact. Because I've followed him for over a decade. He's been a huge inspiration of mine from afar, obviously. And then when this all kind of fell onto the table, you know, programmed his number into the phone, and I was between gigs, a little double header up in Peoria, scarfing down a burger, and then my phone rings and it says Cass Haley, and I was like, do I answer this right now or do I finish shoveling down this quarter pounder? But yeah, he was super easy to talk to, super easy to work with, and
even with your mouth full.
Even with my mouth full, yeah. He knew what I was saying.
He's like, I like this guy already. I can't understand him. He's probably in good shape right now.
Yeah.
You talk like you got a burger in your mouth.
Okay, before we go any further, I have to bring up the song Grow because we got ready to talk about that last time.
Yeah.
And you do this, I don't want to call it a speech, but it's a spoken part.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Can you do that now? Like,
I mean, it's usually kind of just off the top of the cuff. It has a basic, you know, flow path to it, because that's what inspired me to write the song to begin with. For radio purposes, let's just say I was in a certain state of mind.
Okay.
And
so are we.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take that wherever you want, but
right. And
we were talking porn earlier, so we're probably thinking about porn.
I was in the
I wasn't until you brought it up again.
I'm just trying to get hits.
It's a different kind of grow.
We know what people search for. I'm going for the keywords.
Right. We're going viral.
Hashtag porn.
Yes.
But can you improv some of it?
Yeah. So pretty much, you know, it was just me looking out my window and it was pouring down rain, and I was wanting to go on this big adventure, you know, and I was by myself and I was wanting to go on a hike and I felt inspired, and I look outside and it's pouring down rain and I'm like, man, and it bummed me out a lot. And then I start honing in on everything that's around me, and I'm seeing, like, we're talking crazy winds, and all these plants are whipping around, getting downpoured on, and I'm like, for a split second, I'm thinking, what's going through, like, their mind? If they're conscious, you know, they're just like, it's chaos, you know? Just,
or maybe they're loving it. Maybe they're like,
exactly.
Yes!
And then that's what I thought. I was like, well, you know, that's how they get their food. They're probably like, like, we're just storing this all for tomorrow.
That's the first verse, right?
Exactly. And it's just like, you know, sometime, and it's an analogy for, you know, for us to represent that and just look at it from a different viewpoint, you know, and sometimes it's raining out there and it's chaos, and it's the type of chaos that makes, you know, those plants bend, bow, sway, and want to break. And it's like, do you think they get upset, or do you think that they're like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I need? And it's kind of inspiring. It's just like sometimes you have to go through a little bit of chaos, you know what I mean? And you have to see the underlining, you know, the good into it, the silver lining, so to speak.
Definitely struck a chord with me. I was like, this is the one right here. This is cool.
Yeah. So and like like I say, usually when I do that little excerpt in the song, that I know that sometimes it's raining down on me, and I know sometimes it's raining down on you guys. You know, that's just life. It's the way it is. But understanding that we could store all that energy. I kind of see energy as a way of, like, there's not necessarily such a black and white fine line between, like, good energy, bad energy. Energy's energy,
right?
And how you move it, and how
agree,
you use
100%.
it is what it gets its definition for. So we can get flooded with these bad times, and sometimes I'm like, bring it on. I'm gonna harness all this, and I'm gonna change it. I'm going to use it for something else, and I'm going to use it for growth, you know what I mean? And fuel for the fire. So, you know, it's just a reminder that for anyone listening out there, you know, sometimes it rains down on us, but just use that for fuel. Store it away just like the plant would, and then when the sun comes out, you're going to grow 10 times more.
Well, and you know, you bring up the chaotic part of it. Maybe it seems like chaos to them, seems like chaos to you, but in those days when you're, as you say, in a certain state of mind, chaos can be part of that. The greatest day, it's the days when you can, you know, hear the colors and see the sound. You know? And it seems a bit chaotic because everything's a little different.
Right.
But those are some of the most beautiful days I've had.
Right. Exactly.
So that the chaos amidst chaos is beauty.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it just forces you to see things from a different perspective that normally you wouldn't take it to that extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's tons of people out there that, they claim that, they do well under pressure, but when it actually comes time for the pressure to hit, how well are you doing? And sometimes the universe does that,
Yeah.
And I feel like there's if the universe is ran by all these little mischievous elves, they're all kind of sitting back, kind of
marching
laughing.
elves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's
We've heard about DMT.
Yeah, I haven't watched a couple Joe Rogan podcasts.
Yeah. Well, you got me thinking about manifestation, which is a big talk right now these days. And, anything you put out, you get back. That was what we called karma back in the day.
Right,
And so if you speak positively to chaos, you'll get positive back.
Right.
As opposed to falling into the depression and talking about that, then you're going to go that way.
Right.
So, and that's what you're talking about with the energy, taking the energy and making it work for you, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's probably what the plants were doing when they're dancing around in the rain, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they're just
we're whipping our necks around they're just dancing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just a little vigorous dance.
They've been baking in the sun
stuff.
Right,
for
right.
days, for weeks, man. This is great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was a phrase that came from that, and the tail end of that little excerpt that I always say. It's something that came to my mind while I was watching that all unfold, and it was strong roots will bear fruits.
Yeah.
And so it's just absorbing as much as you can and building a good foundation for yourself. Because as long as you got that, as long as you've taken care of your roots and you've built this good foundation for yourself, you can handle those chaotic states more. Tornado can come through, so to speak. It's not going to knock you down. You know what I mean? It's just going to give you some new insight and maybe even clear the path around you so you can fully see what you need to see.
Good stuff.
Absolutely.
That's the song Grow. And they can check that at all platforms probably.
YouTube right now. Yeah. But it's not out on any of
Mostly
the
live videos you have on YouTube, right?
Yeah, most of the YouTube's all live videos. There's a couple of studio takes out there as well. All the new stuff on the EP is out there on YouTube. It's just one of the locations for the distributors. But most of the YouTube stuff is all live takes.
You also have coltballmusic.com.
That's right, yeah. So where you can check out all the tour dates, you can check out the merch that we got, and all the goodies. And there's little links to videos and descriptions and stories and stuff like that on there as well.
Like tomorrow's gig in Williamsville. It's on there. What's this place called? Feel Good Tunes? Is that the name of it?
No, that's it.
You just kind of randomly put
Yeah,
whatever with the city, I noticed.
Whatever comes to my head when I'm typing it. I try to be a little bit unique and different so it's not as mundane when you're going through.
Right.
I've actually had some people tell me, they're like, man, we just we look up your events because we want to get a good laugh. And I'm like, hey, at least I got you looking them up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Heck yeah, man.
Taking that step, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's...
And so from that point on, I just started writing down the city for your upcoming gigs. I wasn't sure what venue it was.
You're like, I have no idea what's going on. It's a place called the Landing Resort. It's a marina. I've never been there, but I've heard great things about it. It's an awesome spot. They actually, from what I'm told, they have like a little campground there. So it's a space where you can, either they have like trailers and stuff there. You can bring your RV trailer and set up camp, but it's a spot where you can, dock your boat, come enjoy some music, and on their outdoor patio area, they got food, they got craft beers, and the whole nine.
Mm-hmm. So for the gig after that, the 17th, I just wrote down St. Louis.
Yeah, so that's going to be at the food hall at the Foundry. So that's I've been playing there once a month for the past 4 months now or so, and it's a really cool vibe. I like that area. It's neat.
And then for the next one on the 18th, I'm going to guess Broadway Oyster Bar.
Broadway Oyster Bar is correct.
Because you wrote Oyster Orchestra.
Yeah, that's
right. So I'm like, is that something that getting put together for that show? Like,
no, just wrote it down.
It's just something, yeah.
They both begin with O.
Right, exactly. That's it. That's just those little.
Let me ask you this: being a guy from St. Louis, I went last weekend to a place called the Mississippi Underground. You ever heard of that?
Just recently heard about it. I heard it's a newer event, like a venue ground, but I've seen some pictures. It looks really cool.
It is odd. It's a top 5 weird walks into a venue for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, you had to like park and like cut through a fence and go across the field and down the hill, and then there's a pile of boards with nails at the bottom of it.
Oh yeah.
But it really felt like I was walking into a rave.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when there was actual bars in the place because I thought for sure it was just kind of like set up.
Yeah.
You
catch it was at Eureka Strings.
The Eureka String show there. Yeah, and it was interesting, and I thought I've never heard of this place, but you say it's new, so that explains it.
From my understanding, that event was held by Eureka Strings and Cody Perkins, and I think Cody Perkins was kind of the segue into that, but it's a venue that, just from my understanding, they've been trying to get it off the ground, and that was kind of like their test trial with that event to see if it would stick. And
I had never heard of it. I saw Eureka Strings last Wednesday in Tulsa.
Nice.
At a place, and that's when I was like, wow, these guys are good. And they're like, we're playing in St. Louis in 2 nights. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, literally, I just never heard of the place, so I thought, I got to talk to somebody from St. Louis and find out what's going on with this. So, cool. It's new. That's why.
Yeah.
There you go.
So then the weekend of Lodgefest, the 24th is Lodgefest that we're talking about, where you're playing. The day before that, I wrote down St. Peters, Missouri.
Yeah, so that's going to be at the 311 Wine House.
Okay.
I've played there one time before. It's a really cool vibe if you're not familiar with it. It's kind of like a cottage. It's right off the main drag, so you got like I think it's an auto body shop next to them, and then a QT next to that.
Right.
But they have a sweet outdoor area. It's all fenced in and stuff, and you could fit a couple hundred people probably out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They said that they've thrown some pretty big events where they've had like 400 people total. But I think that would be a little shoulder to shoulder, unless they're opening up the fence and they share it with, I don't know if they're town events and they're sharing it with their neighbors and stuff like that. But they have a really cool stage, big enough for a full band. It's on a nice riser, and you got the overview of the yard and then the little cottage. They got really good food, some good paninis and stuff. And, they got some local beers and then your domestics as well.
So for those just tuning in, we're talking about the 24th show, Lodgefest, right here at Elijah P's. It's been known by many names, just like you, Pigpen. The Lodge at Lovejoy, yeah.
Yeah.
But Lodgefest is put together by Tait Kelly, right?
Tait Kelly, yep.
With Pickin Buds. Fleetwood and family going to be there. Hunter Peebles, Colt Ball and friends. That's Mr. Marshall Grazi.
Yeah.
We all know him.
Yeah.
And the rest of your band, too. Alex Maurer and Kevin Myers, who had a nice psychedelic, possibly a dress in the video.
Yeah. Yeah. So he said that was his grandma's, and he got that. That was like a hand-me-down. And, So
it's full tie-dye, though.
Full tie-dye. Yeah, I was like, man, your grandma was cool.
Super cool. Super cool. So let me ask you, though. You brought up, what was his name? Marshall what? That's not Marshall from Marshall Pest Solutions, because that guy's way cool.
He's trying to. he wanted the free plug.
Right.
I'm just curious if it was actually Marshall from MarshallPestSolutions.com.
I don't.
I was thinking of a possible pest solution. I may put him to task at.
Yeah.
So I got, what a coal bin is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my porch is built on top of a coal bin. There's no way to get in between.
Yeah,
the coal bin and the porch. But obviously wasps have built nests down there. A stair must be removed and someone needs to go in there and do something.
He's the guy for the job.
Yeah.
And I thought the only thing I could think is like drop some kind of bombs in there that might do the trick, but yeah.
Oh, he dropped a bomb on us. I'm just picturing the wasps down there,
Right,
their little world. They're just doing their wasp thing.
I always just do the energy thing and go, they'll stay away.
Yeah.
You see how I did the force, right?
Yeah. See, I've been doing that with honeybees on a piece of property for years, and I'm afraid to open up the attic because there's going to be just like 1,000 pounds of honey up there. It's been going on way too long.
Also, part of Lodgefest Hamilton Band, Holly Shultz, Emma Nobbe Band, Hoojshwah,
Hoojshwah,
Loge, Brad Huffman, Rich, Jess, and Tait, That's Tait again.
That's a lawyer firm right there.
That is. Right. Justin Rose and Jarrod Lutz. $20, noon until 12 a.m. Might go past a little. At the Lodge, right here in Alton. And last time you were on, we were pointing out how many great places there is to play, and you need to have a gig here, and there you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, that was for the gig you were playing here last time we talked. Which one was
Jamming
that?
at the Springs.
Jamming at the Springs. I got Happy Trails on my mind because that's coming up.
It is coming up. It's
that's
not far.
That's going to be a good one as well.
You know what else is coming up, Pigpen? And if you want to get in on this, you better act quickly. Rock the Hops.
Oh, yeah.
Put out a post today that submissions are going to be ending soon if you want to play Rock the Hops. But tickets are already on sale. So, and you might want to get those because there's limited tickets.
Yeah. What's the dates on that? Have they announced the dates?
I do. August 12th. Rock the Hops. Yeah, it's a big festival here in town. Nice. Featuring beer. That's the hops part.
Nice.
Featuring beer
and live music and art. Well, we got to put
that's the rock part
at the top. Yeah. And so get your submissions in for that if you want to play, and pick up your tickets at the Flock Food Truck Lot or the Conservatory Old Bakery. All right. So that's coming up, and also coming up on this Saturday, a thing they call Breakfast and Blues.
Yeah.
A little place called Tab's Cafe right here in Alton. It starts at 10 a.m., goes until 1. Don't know who's playing this week. They kind of announce it at the last minute. But the weekend of the 24th, this is how you should start your day, because this starts right before Lodgefest.
Yeah.
The NGK band will be who you have breakfast with.
Nice.
And that is the legendary George Brock Jr., who is the self-proclaimed king of the blues. His father, George Brock Sr., was the king of the blues. And he grew up hanging out with Muddy Waters and all them guys that we talked about earlier that traveled. And
what's funny is when you listen to George's stories, because his dad had 49 kids or something like that. And I mean, just an amazing. He was a bluesman. And he owned a club in St. Louis.
Right.
And he played with Howlin' Wolf, and he played with B.B. King and all these guys. But then so his dad's like deep into it, right? He is the king of the blues, but then he always talks about, well, BB lived across the field from my mama.
Yeah,
his mom was just as deep into the blues as his dad was, and they were, one summer this white boy Stevie Ray Vaughan was sleeping on the porch all summer.
That's awesome.
We were stepping over him because he was drunk.
Yeah. That's the story I always remember too.
That's amazing.
Right? George is just full of stories, and all you gotta do is show up, and he'll tell them to you, man.
Yeah,
he's a talker.
I tell you, that's what I tell people lately too. That I don't even play music to necessarily play music. It's just the stories that generate during set break or after the set. I like sharing stories of my travels and stuff, and I love hearing other people's too.
Yeah. It's
and
life.
Plus, you put yourself out there, and you realize that a lot of funny, cool stuff happens if you're just in tune with it.
Every day there's funny things happening. You just got to pay attention.
You just got to pay attention.
You just got to pay attention.
Some people think funny things are happening right here and now.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are, but speaking of funny, how about Monkey Noodle Theatrics? Just the name right there, but let's see what they're going to present.
You've got my interest.
They're going to present a Father's Day comedy show. So obviously, fun. $10.
Right.
$10 at Jacoby on Saturday from 7 to 10. Levi and McAtee will be playing the Lodge Saturday. Now, Levi and McAtee ring a bell with you, Pigpen, because we just talked to him last week. You weren't here, I know. I don't remember
what happened last week. That's like a long time ago, man.
Well, you don't call him. You don't call him Levi. That's his real last name. You call him Jody Grinder.
Jody Grinder.
But the Levi family, and Jason
McAtee,
are part of the Porch Cafe. So this is 3 of them.
Two Levis and a McAtee.
The
Levi, McAtee, and Levi, the
classically trained, the classically trained lead singer and one of the guitar players from the Levi side. There you go. Paul Light. Yeah. They got shows at Bossa Nova again.
Paul Light, winner of Star Search. Well, I don't know if he won, but he was on Star Search with Ed McMahon.
I still think we should. I still think we should get him and Billy Hurst together and see who wins right here in town.
Two Star Search guys from this town. That's crazy. Yeah.
So, Paul Light, check this out. Bossa Nova's opened up a stage now.
Good for them.
Yeah, and so they're gonna now Rich.
One more place to play. One more venue in town.
Rich also has the Lodge. So he has the Lodge and
Russ.
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 I don't know what I was thinking.
We know. We got it. Russ has got the Lodge.
I was thinking about you because you're rich.
Rolling in
You got a heated pool. I mean, come on.
So
if you need a bath tonight, go to his house.
Yes, man.
That's why he's got it. He doesn't like to.
We call it the cement
bathe,
pond.
so.
Just crank that sucker as high as it'll get.
Nate Sickmeyer and Whiskey Dixon at Fast Eddie's on Saturday. Tanglefoot out at Baker's and Hale. And how about Captain Geek and the Shrimp Shack Shooters? They're going to be at the Roper's Regal Beagle.
I like that.
Down there with Mr. Furley and Jack Tripper.
I do like that name, Captain Geek and the Shrimp Shack Shooters. That's hard to say.
Nothing like Captain
Those
Geek.
Names, that's what sticks, man.
Oh, it is.
I remember when I first moved to Missouri, I was listening to KDHX and King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'll never forget that name now.
Yeah,
right.
That's in my brain now.
For real. We like Poor Dirty Astronauts is one that we see also. Yeah.
What's the Pussycat and the
Swallowtails?
Swallowtails.
Yeah.
Pussycat and the Swallowtails. I love that one.
I'm not sure if they're around anymore, but that was fun to say.
That was a good one.
Tripwire will be at Doc Holidays. They'll be doing somebody out at Blue Stem Vodka.
Anything with Trip in it's always a good name.
Infringement at the Pump House on Saturday. Last stand at Martin's Tunes and Eats in Wood River. Last chance to see them. Southern Rail Band will be at the Hog Pit. Owls at the Loading Dock. NGK, you can check them out at Grafton Winery Saturday from 3 to 7. Worth the Fight at Grafton Pub. Denver Wade Trent at Aries Winery from 1 to 5.
3 first names.
Yeah, you got
dangerous.
How about Catfish Willie?
That's a great
There's a name.
That is a name right there.
He'll be at
got some stories.
He does.
I bet he does, man.
And you can check it out at the Bloody Bucket Saloon in Grafton from 7 to 10.
Sounds like the perfect place for him.
Perfect place to see Catfish Willie right there.
The Intrusion about to get underway at the night market, but they're also playing Saturday at the Oyster Bar in Grafton. Nice. Yeah, Happenstance. 9 a.m. at the Goshen Market in Edwardsville. They're going to start early there.
That's an early a.m. right there. Be set up and playing by 9.
Well, they got the Elton John tribute later at the Wild E, 8 o'clock. Dogs of Society.
Nice.
And the scruffy-looking nerf herder will be back in action at Big Daddy's just around the corner. Rewind at the Moose in Edwardsville. And let's see, that takes us to Beowulf.
Yeah, wow.
At Patrick's in Granite City, and Scott and Michelle at Hooch and 16s in Granite City at 7 o'clock. Southside Bloozy Boys out down at Tegan's from 7 to 11. And guess what? JT Hayden Band.
Once a year.
Goes
forever once he starts.
And down at the Old Herald, the new venue down there, is going to be the Battle of the Dad Bands.
Wow, all right, that's pretty
perfect Father's Day show.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Money Shot at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey. Here's that list, Pigman. Look at all these people playing.
Oh my gosh, this goes on into the next page.
Yeah. There was a few names on Aaron Joe's down there. 6:30 to 8:30 at 7. And there's Nick Gussman. He plays with Tait Kelly every once in a while. He's down there. Nick Gussman and the Coyotes from 7 to 11 at the venue on Main. Just part of Experience Live Music Row.
Graham Pagano made it in there.
He's in there, yes.
The Real Wobble Chair. That's a good name.
Stroud Sarah Jane from 2 to 4. She's been on the show.
Yeah, man, we got some good folks here.
Well, we got a lot of talent in this area. That's why we decided to name this show Riverbend Talent. We did not go deep on that one, folks.
We didn't spend a lot of time thinking about it.
No. But we did bring up porn earlier, and foreplay. Foreplay is at Wild Pickens from 6 to 10. And Butch Moore, we love Butch. He does it all at the Stagger Inn on Sundays for years, taped everybody, but he's going to be doing the winery at Shale Lake in Staunton.
Yeah, I've been talking to him about getting him back on the show again, but he's so busy.
Oh, I know.
He plays constantly, so it's hard to get him on a night off.
Pro Wrestling Epic is happening in Pinckneyville Saturday. So.
In Pinckneyville, perfect.
And just across the pond in Portage Desu,
yeah,
Shotgun Creek from 2 to 6 at the Long Shot Tiki Bar.
All right.
Our friends Borderline are playing over at Ballpark Village because Luke Combs is playing, and they are going to play immediately after.
They're the after party. There
So,
you go.
yeah.
So Luke Combs is playing Busch Stadium, and then right after that, right there in the Ballpark Village, Bally Sports, we've got the after party with Borderline, which you know.
So technically, he's opening for Borderline. The way I look at it.
I don't know how many times people have told me that I look like Luke Combs. I don't even know who that guy is, really. Just
really?
I know the name, but I guess it's the red beard. Has he got a red beard?
I don't know.
I was going to say you look like Redbeard the Pirate.
My brother calls me Captain Redbeard.
Yeah, you look like Captain Redbeard, which a lot of people say he looks like Luke Combs. I hear. So I don't know. I don't know if any of this is true.
Whole list of stuff going on Sunday as well, and
yeah, wowzers.
We're out of time again.
Big weekend in the community, like always. So, and that's we're just think if we talked about stuff on the other side of the river.
Hey, after the Lodge show, you're playing somewhere in Edwardsville. So you got 2 gigs in one day.
Yep. So, yeah, that was something that originally Lodgefest was supposed to happen the weekend before. And so I'm still glad that I was able to do both. But, yeah I'm going to be playing at Global in Edwardsville.
Okay.
That'll be my first time there. I know they got a lot of locations. They even got some locations.
Global Noodle?
The Global Brew House.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've never been there before, but yeah, I'm stoked for that one.
Yeah.
And they were saying, too, they got some locations up in like around Chicago as well. I like those places that have multiple locations because I like to travel around.
Get you in the circuit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't just get 1 gig. I get 4 gigs.
Right, exactly. That's why I tell the people over at Tin Roof, I'm like, I'll be your spokesperson on the road. Like, I'm talking Nashville, San Diego, all of them. Just get me a Tin Roof flag, and I'll just drive it out the window.
I appreciate you making the trip over here. Sorry about the traffic and the trains not running on time.
Right. We're going to have to talk to the engineer here.
But you got to come, folks out there need to come check out Colt Ball. It will be a very enjoyment experience.
Yeah.
And that will be at Lodgefest.
Yeah.
On June 24th with Pickin Buds, Fleetwood and Family, Hunter Peebles, Colt Ball and Friends. I mentioned that, didn't I?
Oh, yeah.
Hamilton Band, Holly Shultz, Emma Nobbe Band, Hoojshwah.
Yeah, it's going to be a wide range because you got, some of these bands are more folky, bluegrass, stomp grass, and then, Hoojshwah kind of...
Trash grass.
Yeah. You got people that are like, Hoojshwah kind of incorporates like, it's almost like a Rage Against the Machines, hip-hop flow, jam band kind of, you know what I mean? There's just so many different styles and flavors on there. So whether you like rock and roll, blues, or even just, more stompy grass music, you're going to have a good time there.
Still doing your Monday show on Facebook?
Yeah, there's a couple we had to
edit.
Yeah, there's a couple we couldn't do exactly, but
we have that problem from time to time.
On the road, it's a little harder, Yeah, and, we're still trying to find a way. I say we, but it's always just me.
Yeah, yeah. As we talked,
Casio.
Yeah, last time we talked that you produce all that video and put it up yourself, and we talked about how that's where it's going now. If you're an artist, you need to know video editing. You need to know a lot more than just 3 chords and the truth.
That's right. That's right. The truth has to be relayed digitally these days.
So you still doing the Tuesday teaser too?
Yeah, anytime that I have a release that's coming up that happens to fall on a Tuesday, And we're kind of looking for new avenues now that the EP and the studio work is done. I'm wanting to get more engaged with, the live footage and stuff, They got all, they're all over the place with the Sugar Shack sessions, if you guys are familiar with that.
I like those.
Yeah, those are just a really big hit, and I got some friends that run a company called Middle of Nowhere Music. They just released a video of mine a few months ago. But just stuff like that, just to keep the content rolling out there.
Nice. Yeah, because that's another thing we talked about, that putting out content consistently is a huge part of promoting yourself these days too. It keeps you at the top of Google search.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And I always try to tell people too, because I get folks that ask me just about like the process, and I'm like, you got to understand that you might hit up 100 venues, and only 2 of them are even going to open the message. You know what I mean? Like the odds are not always in your favor. You have to like be able to be okay with living in the state of rejection, and you have to be you got to become a name where so often. This is the way that I see it. Is like I want to pop up so many times that they're like, okay, let's open this up. Who's this Colt Ball guy? Because he messages just once a week, and he's constantly sending new stuff. Like, let's give him the time of day.
That's why I finally opened your message. It was like, he is just hitting me up every day. This guy's throwing it at me. Like you're coming on strong, but no.
That's my approach with it sometimes.
It was a smart move sending him free porn.
That's how I wrangle in the hard ones.
Hashtag porn. Why did I say hashtag? We all know it's a pound sign. Pound me too, not pound hashtag porn. Me too.
Because hash tastes better.
Speaking of hash, we're 5 minutes over time, man.
Yeah, you're jonesing by now.
It's hash time, man. Right. All right, hey, thanks. Big thanks to Colt Ball for making the drive over here, buddy.
Sure.
Good luck to you with all your endeavors, and thanks so much for all the entertainment.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Did you butter a biscuit over there at the Oyster Bar? I seen that.
Buttered some biscuits.
Okay, I seen that.
We had some folks grooving.
That wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, I always like it when you see it like at Oyster Bar, for the day gigs, you'll get those people that decide to stand up and they're still eating whatever they have in their hands. They're just grooving. They're walking to the stage. I'm like, you do you, man.
Right.
Yeah, raw oysters.
Especially when they got a bowl of soup and they're just dancing around with a bowl of soup. Right.
I've always heard if you want to feel silly, just put oysters in your shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I'm like that all the time.
Maybe that was baloney. Maybe that was baloney. Actually, that's a Steve Martin joke.
That's as real as crazy baloney.
I can't steal comedy from Steve Martin.
Oh, you can steal it like an artist.
You can steal banjo licks from him, or try to steal banjo licks from him, but
only if you've got an arrow over your head. All right, all right. So there you go. It's, thanks to Macias.
Thank you.
Van Voorhis. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. Thanks to Halpin Music Company for sponsoring the show for so many years and letting us come in here and jackass around and introduce you to interesting and talented people like Mr. Colt Ball. Thanks again for coming down, Mr. Colt.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks to everybody for listening. And
we'll see you on the 24th of June at the Lodge.
Right. Absolutely. And everybody, no matter what you're going to do, get out and support local music and art.